Hello everyone! Today's journey starts in the small city of Bușteni, up in the Romanian mountains. A lot of the locals from Bușteni have off-road vehicles and minibuses, which they use to organize one-day trips in the area when they can get together a group of tourists. So today we've decided to go alongside a group of tourists on one of these tours with the minibus that leaves from Bușteni to visit a few interesting places in the Bucegi Natural Park. The trip will take us through the city of Sinaia, and our first stop will be at the Ialomița cave and the monastery of the same name. After that, we'll start on an easy but beautiful hike up in the mountains, where we'll see the place from which the Ialomița river starts and the waterfall it has formed near its spring. Once we'll be done with the hike, we'll take the minibus and go to Cheile Tătarului. An approximate translation of the name is the Tatars Gorges, where we'll see the Bear's Grotto and the Bolboci Lake. If you're enjoying our video, give it a like, a share and subscribe. We are now on the road that passes through the mountains in the Prahova and Dâmbovița counties. The drive through the mountains is gorgeous, and we are briefly stopping at a few places along the way to take some pictures. The first visit of the day will be at the Ialomița cave and monastery. Unfortunately, today it's raining, so we're not able to film a lot, but we hope you will enjoy the parts we managed to show you, and that you will come and visit this spectacular place in sunnier weather. The monastery was built in the 16th century under the guidance of Mihnea cel Rău, the voivode of the Romanian country at that time, who was the son of Vlad Țepeș. For those of you that are fans of Bram Stoker's Dracula novel, Dracula was very loosely based on Vlad Țepeș. The monastery has burned down a few times since it was first built, as it was made out of wood. The cave is located on the right side of the Ialomița Gorge in the town of Moreni, on the Bătrâna mountain, about 10 kilometers away from the spring of the Ialomița river, which we will see later on today. The cave can be visited and is 115 meters long. It has several rooms, a few of which are the Hall of the Bears, where the skull of a cave bear from 10,000 years ago is displayed. We're going to the water gallery, then to the altar, from where the cave stream springs out of. The water that springs out from here is said to be one of the purest, because it passes through a silver deposit that purifies it, and I can confirm it is really good, as we have taken a bit of water from here for the road. From the Ialomița cave, you can walk very quickly to the place where today's mountain trail starts. We are following the signs with the blue vertical line that start from the Peștera cable car. This place can also be reached by cable car from the city of Bușteni. A first cable car will take you to the Babele Plateau, and from Babele you can take a different cable car to Peștera, if it is running. So before planning a trip by cable car, call or go ask what the schedule is like and if the cable car is running, since it can have different schedules depending on the season and how the cable car administration decides to categorize the tourist season. The hiking trail goes to the Omul Peak, but today we'll stop at Obârșia Ialomiței waterfall. If you want to see a hike to the Omul Peak, you can click on the video in the card above, or, better yet, wait for this video to finish and you can find the link in the description and go watch it then. As a round trip, the hike takes about 3 hours. And we are starting from an altitude of 1,620 meters, reaching an altitude of 2,000 meters at the top of the trail near the waterfall. This trail is open in all seasons, but mountain equipment suitable for each season is necessary. Since we are in such beautiful surroundings, I'm going to give you a few moments to enjoy the view offered by the Bucegi Mountains. We've crossed several meadows full of flowers located in a dreamlike landscape. The path runs in parallel to the Ialomița River. The sky was cloudy all the way, and we even got rained on at the end of the hike, but the passage through the valley of Obârșia Ialomiței is gorgeous in any weather. On the way, we met several herds of cows grazing quietly on the alpine pasture. Some cows decided to graze on the trail, and since we didn't want to disturb them from their meal, we decided to go around them at a safe distance. The Ialomița Valley coincides with one of the most important routes used for herding, which is called Drumul Oii, loosely translated the sheep's path, although there were only cows on it this time around. Drumul Oii starts from the Carpathians and goes down to the confluence point of the Ialomița and the Danube rivers. The next part of the hike is a bit more difficult. The path gets narrower and rougher. On one side it's bordered by a rock wall and on the other side by a chasm, but the view makes up for the difficulty. We passed by a juniper forest. These are the only shrubs that grow at this altitude, where we no longer see any other trees. The ascent is done with an image of the waterfall on the horizon. The Ialomița waterfall is the second largest in Romania. The waterfall is 100 meters and is made out of steps forming smaller waterfalls. The waterfall looks more spectacular in the spring when the flow of water is increased due to the snow melting and heavy rainfall. In the summer, especially during drier periods, the waterfall goes down to a trickle when compared to the spring. But despite all this, it's still worth a visit, if only for the views along the way. Although we're recording this video in the middle of the summer, there are still visible patches of unmelted snow. After we finish the hike, we return to the minibus and go to Cheile Tătarului, which are located at the entrance between the Padina Plateau and the Bolboci Lake. Here we'll also find the Bear's Grotto, a tunnel created artificially at the authorities' request between 1905 and 1906 by the Schill brothers. This was meant to be a cross through the mountains as part of a railway track, but work got stuck halfway through because of the hard rock it encountered during the drilling, so the project was abandoned. Above the grotto, we can see one of the rocks resembles a human face, and it was named the Decebals face. Cheile Tătarului were artificially created by a series of controlled explosions, in order to allow access to the Bolboci Lake, which is itself artificially created with the aid of a dam, and has two purposes: hydropower and as a water supply for the city of Târgoviște. When visiting the lake in the summer of 2022, the water level in the lake was very low due to severe drought. Once we're done with walking around the lake and taking in the views, we head back to the minibus and off we go, back to Bușteni, as the day trip has come to an end. If you like today's trip and want to be notified when we release a new video, subscribe to the channel by pressing the subscribe button below and the little bell icon next to it. Leave a like so we know you've enjoyed it, and share the video. And we look forward to seeing you on another hike.